What's good, everybody? You're watching Elite Alpha Fitness. It's the Haitian Sensation. And today I'm going to be talking about the 3 biggest mistakes that I used to make that stopped me from gaining the size that I was looking for. If this is your first time here, show some love by subscribing and let's take this fitness journey together. The first mistake I was making was definitely in my diet. Now, I thought that just because I was trying to grow muscle, the main ingredient I needed was protein. So chicken, fish, steaks, the protein shakes, the protein powders, all of that stuff I was consuming at very high volumes because I was thinking, hey, since I'm trying to grow muscle, I might as well get as much protein and stuff as I needed. I mean, that's the stuff I was reading in the magazines. I thought it was just all about that protein. With that, my carbohydrates were very low and my fats were very low or pretty much non-existent. I was keeping the little muscle that I did have, but I wasn't really fueling my body to grow any new muscle because I wasn't getting enough proper carbohydrates and, the proper amount of fats or the correct fats needed, just to maintain healthy levels. So that was the first mistake. The second mistake that I made was how I was training. Pretty much I was training more like a power lifter where I wasn't doing any more than 8 reps per exercises. Sometimes I might do 10 reps. However, a lot of my reps were kept anywhere from 4, 6, and maybe 8 reps. Training like this, I got really strong, but it didn't necessarily give me the size gains that I was looking for. And also to go along with this kind of training, because I was putting a lot of stress on my central nervous system, I was training body parts once every 5 to 7 days. So training with these heavier weights and the frequency in how I was training was the second mistake that I made that wasn't showing me the size gains that I was looking for. Now, I did make some size gains, but in relationship to my strength, it just wasn't keeping up. And third, the last and probably one of the biggest mistakes that I was making that kept me from getting bigger was that I was doing way too much cardio. I mean, back in high school, I used to run track and cross country, so I used to love running. So sometimes I would run 6, 8, 10, I've even ran 13 miles before. And definitely doing all that cardio, especially running, is definitely not good when you're trying to put on lean, solid muscle. Because all that I was doing was my body was saying, hey, do you want to get bigger or do you want to be able to run all these miles? And because I was running all these miles, it wasn't allowing me to grow any new muscle the way that I really wanted to develop, especially my upper body area. My legs were really strong. At my strongest, I was bench pressing 325 pounds, I was squatting 495 pounds, and I was deadlifting 495 pounds. However, I still wanted to look bigger because at that point, I was about 182 pounds, and I really was trying to break 200, and I just wasn't able to do that because of how I was eating, the way I was training, and the cardio that I was doing. Fortunately, over time, a long time, as a matter of fact, I figured out what I was doing wrong and I was able to change that. So now I definitely get more carbohydrates in, I get the right amount of fats, and I still keep my protein level up because you do need protein to build new muscle. However, you also need those carbohydrates to give you the energy to put into the workout so that way you can go harder to force those muscles to grow bigger. My training is different now. I train at higher volumes. Sometimes I'll do 15 up to 25 reps per exercise, and also with that, my frequency on training. For example, I train almost every body part 2 times a week, and the only time I probably won't train a body part twice a week. For instance, there was a few weeks where I wasn't training my back twice a week because I had hurt it at work, but I was still training it and pretty much just tendering it so that way I didn't lose too much of the gains that I made, so that way when I did fully heal, I'll be able to start training it twice a week again. And lastly, I don't do that insane amount of cardio anymore. Now, every now and then, maybe a couple times a month, I might run anywhere from 2 to 4 miles. But as far as my cardio, I only do like burpees, or I'll get on the Stepmaster and go for anywhere maybe like 30, 40 minutes. But I won't go into a vigorous pace to where like I'm eating away at any new muscle growth. So there you have it. Those were the 3 biggest mistakes that I used to make that stopped me from gaining the size that I was looking for. And now that I've learned from them, I've definitely noticed a big difference. My arms are getting a lot bigger. My chest is a lot thicker. Pretty much overall, I'm starting to see the gains that I'm looking for. And I'm really happy with the way my physique is going. Thank you for checking out this video. Comment below and share with me like any of the progress or mistakes that you think you've made that wasn't getting you the goals or achievements that you're looking towards. And I'll be glad to share any tips and advice that I might have. And I'd also like to hear any tips and advice that helped you guys out. So again, this is the Haitian Sensation with Elite Alpha Fitness signing out. Deuces.